We're going to chit chat a little bit on our lovely Christ consciousness. And as we were discussing, I didn't get taught to ignore sciences or technology, or that we can use our brains to learn. And so while the groups of people who remain within the 3D, 4D spectrum continue to be fear-mongered by those who spread rumors, they think yoga brings demons out of you. They think Reiki is some yucky energy. They call the 5D mystics and just anybody who's in sciences monsters. They don't know of Patrick McNamara, neuroscientist, who proves there's no monsters, no demon possessing anyone, that we have a fear receptor, and that's in the brain. So the people who don't want to learn, they're not going to be in our 5D collective. We will be looked at as monsters from the medieval ages people. It's okay, because that's the part. Who wants to be ignorant? Raise your hand. Anybody, anyone want ignorance? I didn't get told by Jesus or God in my catechism to remain stupid. Nope, I'm not even a little bit. Not any of the ones that I learned from, and not anybody who's of actual faith. Because faith is not about an ancient institution actually creating what is, for example, a museum that teaches creationism and not Darwinism. I'm just saying that's not just expression of your belief. You're actively saying, I want the Dark Ages back. I will allow my whole community to be ignorant because I don't believe in educational material. Granted, intelligence, you're not interested. The people who get pulled into the 7 to 14 charming, the jackasses who are all over the place, I can spot them like a hawk. Yes, I leave it alone because, like Sadhguru has shared, and he's a spirituality guru. I'm enlightenment soul age group. I've gone beyond it. So he says it as if there's some magical force that is actually going to step in, if you will. And that's why I'm a 5D, again, mystic, not a 4D. I don't bow down to the universe. I used to bow, nope, not down. My catechism taught me to pray and have conversations because I am a child of God. And I follow Jesus. I told God, I said, hey, evil, don't see it. Therapy, yes, see that. I see it all over the place, God. I'm okay here because I'm following the forgiving. I'm following the unconditional love. And those people are grandiosity. I can hear their tone. I can hear their nervous system. I can learn information like a smart human being who is not going to be stupid because of fear-mongering tactics. I got lucky, though. See, I chose a mom. Yeah, 5D mystic here. I always know my oversoul. That's what a feminine knows, and that's why, Rabbi, you think feminines are in pain for leaving people who want to seminate? No. They're all the ones that listen to somebody who says 1 second after fucking a woman, a man will feel contempt and disgust towards the very woman, and then shame. I'm thinking, let's go, Bezel van der Kolk. There's more and more evidence that dissociation is caused by dysfunctional attachment. You don't have somebody who looks at you and picks you up and responds to you when you are in distress. So you learn to deal with your misery by shutting yourself down. That's Bezel van der Kolk. What is his MD? Shall we say it's pseudoscience? I don't think so. I'm the pseudoscience lady. Let's go to Ron Siegel's Psych D. One of the most useful insights that I've ever gotten out of mindfulness practice was that in the final analysis, all that I'm afraid of is sensations. Who has panic attacks? Raise your hand. Who's got IBS? Raise your hand. Who has sensations that people want to make fun of? Raise your hand. Who's the person who doesn't give a shit when they make fun of? Raise your hand again. Yes, so whenever somebody's like, oh, you're so lucky, why would you have them? Well, you know what? I have answers. I'm not going to necessarily share them with you because, I did do that. And I got yelled at for trying to share with somebody. This is those negative people. They have a problem for every solution. No, these are people who are reactive. As Stephen Porges points out, biological rudeness is a person who's already in their safety behavior. So I'm using my smart brain. They're using their back brain. Yeah, they're an automaton based on their childhood trauma and whatever else is theirs, and they don't know how to do thoughts and emotions. I do. I'm a 14-month-old who knows, oh, look, it's not true. If I don't like you, it's not true that you're not likable. I just have a feeling. That you're in love with me? No. Love is a constant in I'm always on. I love all people, which is why for some people it doesn't mean anything, and that's because they want to attach, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not attaching. I don't need you to give me a thumbs up. I'm breathing air. Oh, look, I need water. Let me drink water. Shall I drink water? Water. Oh, let me go get some food. You're a bonus in my life. I already have a family. I have a herd. It's called my mom, my twin, my younger attachment system. Anyone? Okay, so the sensations. Ron Siegel, particularly the sensations associated with unpleasant emotions, getting stuck in sadness, getting stuck in fear, getting stuck in anger. Do you know what it's called to ruminate? Yes, people who do human suffering, you can explain to them, hey, you know what? You can get out of it. It's called you getting out of your temporal junction. It's called you getting out of being addicted to your fight response. We're going to get to that one too, because there's a lovely man. He's sharing all about that one too. This is first Bezel Vanderkolk. Traumatized people tend to feel numb and not alive. And they can make themselves feel alive by exposing themselves to the same situations that cause their terror. It's called hypervigilance, pseudo-aliveness, and a person can recognize it with enough psychoeducation and the ears to want to hear, oh, look, I can become a human in a body that has the capacity to, at some point, one or another, to self-regulate and get earned secure attachment. As that's what all the sciences people are proving. Oh, Jesus, let's talk about unconditional love, shall we? Christ consciousness is 5D. You see 4D around, they think they're 5D because they got clairs. Unconditional love. When you overflow with your humanity, divinity descends. That's because you're going to be using a default mode network that's down-regulated. I have it right now. It doesn't scan Maria, self. I'm not Isaac or Abraham or other. I'm not scanning you or me. I'm in my present. Why? Because I have no shame. Why should I have shame? I don't fear inadequacy when I meet unintelligent human beings, especially when they're mentally and emotionally unintelligent. Oh, they can regurgitate to me a list of everything they want. I'm going to hear their little pattern like a little clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. And then I'm going to say, you're so cute. Now I know everything that you have to do today. So this is not something funny, by the way. It's actually quite mind-numbing, to say the least, because it gets boring to meet Cuscos. They're a pattern of themselves, and they don't even know it. And they think they can get away with shit, which is even more hilarious. I got a human being. I'm going to keep this one private. And I figured out something they did a couple days ago. And I went to them because, see, I ain't afraid to tell you the truth in your face. And I said, okay, here's 2 things for you. And he laughed, because he laughed. So did my girlfriend. Said, 1, me and her, we've known each other half our lives. So whatever that shit you were doing, you're not going to do it again, because it's not how it works between her and I. We share, I'm polyamory, and we have our own deal, you know. I was joking because my friend, she's not. She's monoamory, but I was trying to make a point. I said, 2, what you did was quite Now, remember, I'm the weirdo of my entire crew because I'm a 5D mystic. I'm polyamory. I am always talking about trauma, all of it, you know. So I'm that person who goes in and they'll talk and then they'll talk behind. It's okay. I'm used to that. In fact, I actually find it quite humorous. And then some, they have the capacity to tell you to your face. So my friend, what I figured out was something else, because this is a man who's an older man. He knows how to behave if he wants to appropriately. In this instant, he's not. And there's a reason why. And so I figured that one out as I was reprimanding him, quote unquote, on this thing he did and telling him, my friend and I will not be entering any kind of drama together because we talk in each other's faces. And then I said, and then I know you know your manners. So let's hypothetically say this human being who was in our presence and you're yelling out of the top of your mouth what you're yelling and what you're making sure that he hears. You're trying to embarrass me, her, and create a situation so that he stands down, and you're a very, very not, that's very not nice. No, I didn't say it that way. I'm choosing my words right now. And as I told him, I figured out what the fuck you're doing, and I can't even believe you. He started to laugh. So that's where, again, when a person is not a grown-up, yeah, you can keep acting like what I saw as adolescents. They're not interesting. I don't fear inadequacy, 1. You're not intelligent as much as you think. You got an ego like anybody else, and you got insecurities. And it's all over. And again, it's not, oh my God, they're so evil. No, you're a pattern of what you could actually, and I tell my friend all the time, you can get out of this stuff you do. No, I like it. Sure you do. Okay, so this other person, I forget what his name is, but he was talking about how people can be addicted to their fight, and that's that hypervigilant. I don't think he has attachment trauma information, but he works in the medical field. So he talks about how you can learn how to identify the subconscious dependency and how to overcome it in this video. I haven't watched it yet. I want to see if we can get any good information in it in our episodes. He says patients revolt at the thought of being addicted, being labeled as addicted because of stigma. But yes, you can get addicted to this. Let's see, dependency without awareness is driven by subconscious self-protective process to protect our body. Yes, so this is a safety behavior. Again, he's using different words. Brain craves control and uses survival mode to get it. Okay, and so with that being said, I have noticed that people will know some of this, but then they don't know how to interrupt the wheel of the thoughts. And before we move on, and I always do this, if you're new, I give bits and pieces of information, and what I'm trying to do is simply empower you and to understand that you can, with the inner growth mindset on your own, with support from me, with whatever it is and however it is, your thoughts, your emotions, you're aware of yourself, you can be accountable for it, you can maintain it within your body. Cool, great. You're great for doing self-help, personal development, for sure. If you're ever overwhelmed, that's not a good thing. It means you want to get extra help so that you can help yourself to integrate, because this is the part where we have childhood developmental trauma. All studies are showing, and I learn from people, don't make up shit. Again, you can ask me for the resources, but that's because I found it hard to believe that my first 3 years of life, by anyone who doesn't believe that implicit memory has something to do with those sensations with their life. You can walk a mule to the well. They will not want the truth when you're telling them. They will rather go and say, no, Jesus, he can't unconditionally love God. There's evil. There's a devil. There's a demon. No, I'm not a human baby. I'm a star baby. We're all star babies, but some are earth babies. So alchemizing your emotions means sensations, emotions come up. You're like, oh, I'm aware. And that's the part of where you start to learn, hey, what is my home like? Was it welcoming? Was it uniting? No, if it wasn't, then you know that the emotions that come up when you have secure attachment person, healthy self-worth human being that says you're not alone, I'm here, you're always welcome. You're here, you're home, you're safe. That safety triggers, I know you're safe. Why do I feel off? Because if your home wasn't safe, I'm safe. Your 1-year-old's freaking out because it didn't get that. If you make sense of that, that's all. I had a childhood traumatizing environment. It didn't help me have safety with my relationships. I want healthy self-worth women, men, and days in my life. Jesus, unconditional love is what I got to learn, so I don't feel in any way, shape, or form ashamed of how I am and who I am. I don't appreciate that I will be seen in certain ways, and that there are buttloads of human beings out there who think mystics are demons, tarot readers, Akashic record readers, Reiki. But, it is what it is. People of faith, they are not looking at us like that. It's the people who are fear-mongered and need good therapists. Bessel van der Kolk. Fundamentally, every part of the brain is affected by trauma. The right brain lights up more. The left brain is shut down more. The back of the brain is more hyperactive. The front of the brain becomes less active. I'm using the front. So when you are imbued, thank you, our lovely Jesus, this lovely 5D Christ consciousness, oneness consciousness, when you are aware that you're human, self-awareness, self-accountability, self-regulation. Use your thoughts, use your emotions to become yourself. Your authentic self is a 1-year-old who wanted safety, 3-year-old who didn't want to feel defective or shame, 8-year-old who wanted to have fun and be loved, 12-year-old who could have made stupid decisions but not too stupid to where you get into trouble that you don't need to be in, having people that actually have your back, noticing the difference, and then 16, you choosing a path to lead yourself somewhere. Now, I will share in another episode, I consistently I learned all along the way. So I'm presence, I'm expanding consciousness, and I saw adolescents not do any of what I chose. So I get to share with you what it's like to not give up on love, and it is thanks to this human being, and it is also thanks to God. And I told God, I don't see evil. I don't see this monster that I was introduced to. And nowhere did you say that we are not here to learn from school. These people are in a time I do not know. They're jackasses. Their grandiosity, they're all over using your name. And then I said, and I know that you said you will not intervene. And I respect that. I chose confirmation for Jesus and what he stood for, not for what these people are doing. They're not sending people to jail that need to be going to jail. I don't want these people to get hurt. The long story short, is straightforward as it gets. So no matter how many times somebody wants to tell me some book is written, I'm going to say, I know the basics. I got taught it. I chose it because of the love it taught me. What you're telling me has nothing to do with it. And as long as I see one human being who's not being given to jail the way they're supposed to be, I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to say we have people who are not of faith, people who want to use the word and the name, and then to say that because we have a guru who's actually having people promise to unconditionally love all, that the guru, people need something to believe in. Well, that makes my ass laugh a million miles away. And anyone who doesn't hear the inconsistency is the same person who doesn't have Jacob. I have Jacob. It's called, I'm not sharing what I share because I have a preference. No, I prefer, what I prefer is mentally and emotionally intelligent human beings. I see who they are. I see the lot of them that are not. Oh, and I see how many people flock to their cauldron. Yeah, Ursula, anyone? So here's where lovely, lovely, unconditional love of our Jesus and of the God that I got to learn about. I'm looking for a spot. Here it is. There is nothing within you that would cause the Christ to turn away from you, not even those parts of you that may fill you with fear, shame, guilt, or regret. Any person who has unresolved trauma will have guilt, regret, torn apart because that first year of life they didn't get loved. Second, third, whenever there's a whenever there's a rupture, no repair, we got shame potential. Every little infant body is going to be different than another infant body. If anybody learns of Stephen Porges, you'll understand how he's trying to continue to build quantitative data for the polyvagal theory. It's not proven yet. As he builds the data, if he is going to be successful, he might not be. We don't know. But in the meantime, everything he's doing, like Dr. Daniel Siegel or Dr. Daniel Fox or any of them, Bezel Vanderkolk, Stephen Porges, I already met, Pat Ogden with sensory motor, Julianne, I forget your last name, Peter Levine, Diane Heller, Terry Real, Dr. Albert Wong, Sue Martin, a bunch of people that I learned from, Chris, I forget your last name, Dr. Chris. And so, yes, Sadhguru, you're awesome. But the people who are even more awesome are the ones who are giving us information on what a human is. Patrick McNamara, there's no demon that possesses anyone. There's a neuroscientist, he's talking about it, and he's talking about the religious self and deconstruction. And I found out recently that this deconstruction, decentralization is being looked at as something bad when it's showing how integration helps your body, how expanding yourself helps you to live a longer life. Are you kidding me? Like you obviously are like the people in my classes who want a shortcut for integration. Oh, you should see me in class. I'm thinking, I got out of high school a long time ago. What's up with your age and your ears? Oh, thank you, Stephen. I forgot. Biologically rude people are in their safety behavior. Their brain stems all lit up. They're already, oh, how dare they say something I don't like. And they don't know that their 14-month-old is leading them. Where I'm going to make sure to educate with the information I have. Because, when I get called woo-woo and pseudoscience and stupid, I'm like, yeah, I know I'm stupid about a lot of things. Not stupid about being a human. I'm right here. And I won't be bothered with telling the jackasses anything because I don't want to waste my time with Cusco. He bullshits Pacha. Even at the end of the movie, he bullshits Pacha. This is very much for a woman who's empowered, who's like, wow, you can't speak to my fucking face. Like, seriously, I need to stand down because I'm 4'9" and I don't have the strength to say, fuck that shit. And I know why. I got informed because I would not have done all the studying had I been a big human being. It would have been a very would have been a very interesting, short, probably lived life. So let me close on out with Bezel. When people are traumatized, certain movements have become unconsciously associated with danger or failure. So when you live in the world of sensory integration, you will see that most traumatized people get very frozen in their bodies. So yeah, the people who want to do lack of imagination for evil, they lack the education, and they obviously don't want sciences, and they will tell you how sciences apparently is not, and I'm thinking, nope, I didn't get taught that. I didn't get taught to stay ignorant. And I got taught that we're made the exact way we're supposed to be made. You tell a child that, go and tell them to be different. You confuse me. Shiva, come in. Kali, stand down. Krishna Lila, come on in. Prefrontal cortex, check. I don't need your thumbs up or your thumbs down because you're sounding stupid to me right now. I'm going to wait. Here I am. So that's the part. We have flaws and imperfections. We don't feel defective when we get a good childhood-centric environment. Secure attachment ain't boring. Healthy self-worth relationships are nice. And when people are not in any way, shape, or form grown men, yeah, they're a boy, not even a boy. You don't see evil. You see trauma. I see trauma. It's not even, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I find it hard to believe, Maria, that altars are real or that implicit wow. Okay, you know what? Reiki I can get, and even that, it's energy, but I'm okay with that. Akashic records, you don't have to believe in what I see with past life regression. None of it. You can treat me like the woo-wooest lady, evil witch. And no, I'm not, but okay, whatever. I get that. I got people who are afraid of me. Do you believe this? There's women who are afraid of me. And then again, I do laugh with one of my funniest friends. I love him. He's so awesome. He makes me think outside the box because he knows how to talk to me. See, that's a smart person. They know how your brain works. And that smart person said something because they noticed something that is true. And I'm going to disengage from sharing that one and this one. And I'm going to close us out and then do another episode in a little while. Sadhguru, devotion is the highest form of intelligence. When you overflow with sweetness of devotion, then you function at your best. Devotion is not an act that if you go and do puja in a temple or pray in a church or stand upside down, that's not devotion, he says. They are trying to work up their devotion, he says. Devotion means you have seen the limitations of who you are and you have seen the boundlessness of what it is. Compared to this and this, or maybe he meant compared to this and that, it looks too small, too minuscule. So naturally you will be devout. There is no other way to be. You understand, being identified with the smallness of who you are is the only barrier you have, and you will become devoid of yourself. When you are devoid of yourself, you are a devotee. There is no other way. So here's something that I'm going to translate. Obviously, this is all philosophy, but I did the same thing with some of my stream of consciousness. As I was reading it, I was like, wow, this makes sense to me, but I'm pretty sure it's not making sense to some of the people, not my community, because I know my community, it'll be those of you who resonate and you're following. But I'm saying other people, they will listen. But it'll sound like this, okay? And that's why I'm the human translator for this. In this case, when he talks about sweetness and devotion, when you're in your social engagement system, the restorative embodiment self of you, so your heart, your gut, your brain, okay, integration. Default mode network is down-regulated. The left chit-chatter and the right, everything that comes up, you're good with it. It's called the angry Buddhist for the somatic therapist. Because you know how to harness your own emotional and mental plane. The fancy people like to call it emotional intelligence, like that one dude who used the term, even though he's not the one who coined it. Okay, and here's another lovely, where are you, Sadhguru? Because I wanted to read the one about context. Here it is. Rama played by the book, but Krishna went by his wits. They lived in two different contexts and times. Each acted as it was relevant for that situation. Our activity must always be current and relevant to the times in which we exist. When you have integration of the brain and you're in the present, the way that I got explained it by a buttload of people who study our embodied brain, okay? So again, you don't have to believe in sciences. You can be a flat earther is what I'm going to say. Walk a mule to the well, give them water, tell them what's being proven and shown, and watch them say, no, no. And then I say, okay, you know what? Do you remember Hippocrates or whatever, the Hippocrates? What is his name? The doctor dude? They found out that epilepsy is not some demon, whatever it was called at the time. We now know no demon possesses somebody with nightmares. We know about child parts. We know about brain, the fear receptor, how it works. You want to deny sciences because it goes against the story? Go for it. The people who are so immersed in 3D, 4D plane, they're not going to be here at all. They automatically were like off limits. This is where I'm not talking to those people. Those people aren't going to be doing personal development or self-help. They're going to be closing themselves off in communities and thinking, unfortunately, things that are not true. Rama played by the book. Krishna went by the wits. In either cases, they respected their times. So this is where, when Sadhguru was asked, who's a deity in the Western world? He says Darwin, because he left room for life to grow. Sadhguru is a spirituality guru. He doesn't know psychoeducation. I do. And I'm a 5D mystic. And I'm in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. So I bring to you also for the spiritual awakening guidance, anyone who is looking to move into our plane, integrating sciences and spirituality, humanly speaking, because it's still me supporting you to be your 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old. I'm talking personal development. Let me make it clear. I support people to be their self. We talk about a lot of things. My offering is content, voices, stories, perspectives, food for thought. Channeled guidance, food for thought, the same. Ask Maria, food for thought. You want to do a one-to-one mentorship, you figure out, no, there's an easy way to find out. You write me. Masterclass will be announcing it. My point is that I'm trying to help you to understand how this works, and this, and that it's all your inner world, and that those first 16 years of your life are what matter. Once you get a handle of your teenage, that's when the advanced place of the inner growth mindset, you're going to I like neutrality and duality because I get to work with my thoughts and my emotions. Oh, I like to keep my prefrontal cortex down. I don't want to be in rumination, alert, and be consistently in hypervigilant. I don't want Pinocchio with the wooden body who goes to Stromboli. I don't want this 7 of 14 to pull wool over my eyes. You don't need a Zen master who tells you got laundry in your body. You don't want to feel excruciating anything because you don't have to. Versus the ones who have avoidant attachment. Oh, I have excruciating pain, but you know what? Humans are fucked up, and the therapist said I was doing a good job, and they're picking on avoidance. So I'm going to go be a teen online and say, people who smile are all depressed. People who are on YouTube, they all want money. And people are fucked up. There's a lame excuse. Like when people said, people are evil, Maria. Why are you going to be nice to them? Because I made a promise to Jesus. I like to keep my promises. And as I got older, I maintained my promise. And I'll never forget, there's this one thing that took place. Because see, when you move into the 5D plane, there's a way that you will move into it. And Patrick McNamara explains the neuroscience aspect of this. It's automatic, and it's also called integration of your brain. That's why when people switch a flip, remember I showed you this human being? I remember when she switched the flip, and that's the part of where the switching of the flipping, our lovely neuroscientist explains. Some like the lady who says that yoga brings demons out of you, or some other human being who got interviewed who says that all of us in the spirituality community are, desperate. And it's like with the polyamory, they think we're masochists. Others think, that we overestimate people's usage of the brain. These are people that speak on screen. And I'm like, you are saying to people they're stupid. I will not call any person stupid. I will say I can be stupid. I will explain to you information. I will know the ones who want to hear. And then they're going to want to hear because they're digging, because they're smart. It's not because they believe. You're not here to believe. This is where social media and why our people use this word all the time. It makes me funny. Believe. Believe in what? If you give me data, it's not about belief. It's a fact. I don't need to use this belief thing. Opinions, what are they? What are these words? These words you're using make no sense for a person who knows. When you're giving me data, I can hear it. Even if I don't like it, I'm hearing the data. I'll know if it's qualitative, and then I'll know your personal opinion. Oh, I'll know your personal opinion all the time when I'm on social media, because I'll know exactly when I'm getting an academic and when I'm getting a distorted one too. And when I'm getting a therapist who needs therapy themselves and should not be a therapist, because as long as you have alters, well, I could be a trigger. And the fact that I'm paying you money and all of a sudden I might find you being in one of your states, that's not cool in any way, shape, or form, nor should that be something allowed, because you are trying to heal people. Can't heal them with a dysregulated nervous system. This is the part of healing. To heal trauma seriously, you need to have a person who can maintain presence as you're being an asshole, quote unquote, to me, look you in the eye, have no low self-esteem. I've done this. And this is exactly why a 1-year-old or 3-year-old who's a teenager, they won't like me. And I'll be indifferent like Pacha, because I met all the adolescent assholes when I was an adolescent. And I remember, it's not personal. No, you know what? You're right, it's not. Hey, Jesus, come on over. That person, forgive. Okay. Hey, God, what I do? Humble. Okay. Okay, fine. I don't know everything. Hey, I'm busy now, but hey, it's going well. I promised you I'd stay loving. Right, God? Yep. Okay, everything else, I don't know. They're still doing that shit, God. I don't know what to tell you. That's the part. It's very interesting what people want to use to keep people in places. I don't get it. My brain doesn't get it. My left mode doesn't understand. But that's because I see the ones who have the wool pulled over their eyes. Then I get to meet the ones who don't. I was like, okay, it's good. We're good. We're all good. We're doing great. So slowly but surely, at the end of the day, it's not about wanting to disrespect, although that is exactly how some people feel. I have felt that there has been some form of disrespect in different ways of manifesting, but I also understand that that's subjective. So when you're an actual grown human being, you understand religion, politics, societal, all of topics we talk about. Nobody has a chip on their shoulder. This is the part, and I personally am not building a community of people with chips on their shoulder. I already am aware since the moment I had Claire's that I am no longer welcome amongst certain people. I will not hide who I am. I will not walk in shame. It's 2024. The fact that I have to see human beings in my classes, science classes, because human sciences, when you're learning about the brain, present that they're mystic and that they are Claire's. Okay, so I get it because I have it, but I'm watching as we're in class and we're learning about the brain. We're sciences people, and you see the 1-year-old get offended and the 3-year-old and the teenager have an attitude of, oh, they're not actually, what'd you think they were going to do? Applaud you? Of course they're going to say, we don't do that shit here. They didn't do it that way. But I'm just saying that's the part. Or how about when you see a person, you know what? I want a way to do things my way. You just explained to me, mathematically speaking, the time it takes for consciousness barriers, memory barriers to be undone on their own with what trauma is, this huge thing. And I don't accept that. I want a shortcut. Wow. Okay, really? You must not know what you're... Whenever I've seen anybody disrespect a person who's teaching us, again, they don't know everything. Don't disrespect them in the classroom. You know more, go and do it. Go and be the actual educator. And that's when you know you got a teenager who's a grown-up who's not hearing because they want something specific from you. They want you to confirm the very chit-chatter, which is why, again, just ask me. I can keep going and going because those patterns are so clear as day. I'm like, spotted one, there's another, there's a Pinocchio. Oh, look, we got Cusco. Look, there's the jackass. Oh, I won't go near the jackasses because I don't want to trigger that poor inner child that's dying inside. Also, they humor me. Also, they can beat me at regurgitation of material, that's for sure. So I stand no chance whatsoever. I'm going to admit that one. So they could begin to just list a bunch of connecting the dots because they're linear. They'll walk you to the Hansel and Gretel with the little breadcrumbs. I already know it because I know how my brain works. But also, it's a waste of time. So the jackasses are here for the ones who still want the jackasses. Again, remember, there are those who say we overestimate the usage of people's brains. So what can I tell you, polyamory community? Come on over. We're not masochists. Some of us, we are empowered women. We don't need to keep a man. He's not in my pocket. We're not going to say, hey, come on, boy. Let me get you on a leash. Come, good boy. You opened a door for me. How wonderful. Yeah, no, none of that. Here, I actually want to use Patrick Teahan as we close on out because I respect men, actual men. I respect the ones who are not actual men either because I got taught to just respect people. I find that true. I don't look up. I don't look down. I look straight at you. I have no low self-esteem. Remember, that's exactly why I'm in my prefrontal cortex. You all can be over here. And we don't have what is resentment, grudges, or what else? There's other words, but I do know that when we get into our little, that's what it's going to look like to other people. But the ears that can hear will notice the difference because it's in the ventral vagal nervous system versus what is a sympathetic nervous system that you're going to notice. And that's only if you have ears to hear in the absence of your 14-month-old means whatever you like or don't like, you put it to the side and say, I can hear, I'm a Jacob, I got it. That's because you're indifferent to what is being spoken. And so you're neutral. So your unflappable, secure attachment body is in the presence of somebody who is a differentiated self. And you don't have a judgment and a casting of a stone of whatever's coming out of their mouth. You don't at all. There's nothing here except for, I'm open-hearted. Krishna Lila, come on in. That's your social engagement system. I'm present. I'm attuning. Why? Because I'm curious, open, accepting, and loving of anything that comes out of your fucking mouth. It doesn't even matter. I'm just listening because I'm attuning to you. I'm a chord. You're a chord. And then I'm going to resonate. And then I'm going to trust. Expanding consciousness. And here's flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. Daniel Siegel has some great acronyms. You can do it too if you want. You don't have to, but it is fun. 5D relationships and 5D mystics and people. So Patrick, he shares, we do not diminish our masculinity by working on our childhood trauma. We reclaim it. And he says, in therapy, I became a man, nothing like what my family modeled. And it's on his community page. If you want, you can look him up. At Patrick Tiahan Official is the name. I think it's updated. So he shares what a healthy male role model looks like or could look like, showing up for themselves emotionally. Yes, that's any person, man, woman, or they. If you don't know self-love, and don't re-traumatize yourself, there are people who try to get you to be in pain in a way that is completely irresponsible, like the people who ask for shortcuts when they're being explained how integration of the brain takes the 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 4 weeks. I forget the number that Daniel gives for the new neural receptor connection to be made. Then myelin needs to lay out and you feel wonky during that process. So you're not going to have a shortcut. It's like when in My Cousin Vinny, if any one of you has watched it, he's interviewing the guy who made grits. The guy says that it took him 5 minutes or something to do grits. And he's in the South, My Cousin Vinny, and he learned all about grits because he didn't want to try it. So as he's stalling, but the girlfriend's like, come on, be brave, because she doesn't want to try it either because they come from the city. And you should watch it if you haven't. It's a funny movie. I'm giving it away, though, but they are eating, therefore, about to eat grits. So he asks all these questions about how it's made, and he finds out that it's made like 15 minutes. So as he's interviewing a witness, and they've doctored up evidence against boys who are innocent from this murder that has taken place. And My Cousin Vinny, though, he is not. It's his first time in trial. Okay, I'm done. Otherwise, I give it all away. But long story short, he says, so what? Did you have instant grits? And all of them start laughing because it's kind of like when Italian has to make pasta, and I've made instant pasta before. It was the most disgrace. I felt disgrace inside here. I was like, I can't present this. This is a disgrace to my heritage. And I was like, I see, I still feel it. It's my grandma, Grandma's the one that's like, okay, it's okay. She forgives me, though. My grandma's forgiving. She didn't throw the shoe at me. Okay, long story short, you have a process to integrate your emotions. You can't overwhelm the system. So it takes time, and it takes a person to be self-aware, accountable, regulating with the psych education. And that's where we also add our lovely Jesus. And we use consciousness, Akash, God, dark matter, dark energy. It's the essence of love and life. And to try and respect those who will not be along our journey. And hopefully in time they will learn we're not demons of any type. We're just people who have clairs. And that's because we tap into the relational field. And that everything is energy. And in a beautiful way, not a horrible way. So yes, show up for others emotionally. That's any healthy human being, man or woman. You reclaim your masculinity, your femininity, all of it when you reclaim your inner child and become the inner child adult. I'm an inner child adult right here. You protect and guide, yes. And you model healthy assertion, justice, and understanding. Yes, again, you model dignity as a man, and you do not deny it, hide it, or diminish it. And he talks about how when he meets certain types of women, how he handles it, because in his case, he also had a situation with the mother. But he says, I learned to show up for my emotions and the emotions of others without apologizing for my gender. I learned to stand up for myself and my group. I learned to reclaim my gender and my sexuality. I learned to recognize and set boundaries with women who were intent on shaming men. Projection. So he's really great. You should follow, could follow, should actually activate the sympathetic. Something else you learn about the nervous system in the lovely trauma and attachment courses. So again, we all are babies who were meant to be loved, and some didn't. So the safe haven, secure base people, we know the truth that to work with your emotional plane, we need you to want to do that, to want to pause and see the truth, which is there's no monster in any person. There's no monster. There's a home. If you had a child-centric environment, great. You're like me. You will know all about your emotions easily, and you will also know about sciences not being something that is refuting what we learned about Jesus and God. No, we are learning how to return home to our true self for the ones who didn't get the same, which is staying with our lovely consciousness, okay? And unconditional love. Emotions are the reflection of what is here. And when you know that you don't have to go it alone, it's because your 1-year-old knows that there's somebody ready to hug you and reassure you and say, I'm a safe space. I'm a safe haven. I'm a secure base. And we'll be talking about building those lovely 5D relationships in our next episode. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any topics you would like me to discuss, food for thought, let me know. I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements together. I am educated to the extent that I can be and continue my education because, helping people to be happy in life and be yourself is very important. Otherwise, there would not be this inspiring, infinite, higher human conscious potential. But you need to be motivated to do thoughts and emotions the grown-up way. Not, oh, people are fucked up, so I'm going to stay fucked up. No, none of us are fucked up. Sorry, no monsters. No monsters for the ones who know about Patrick McNamara and neuroscience and our 5D mystics. Yes, there's no energy vampires, dark auras that way. Nope. And when somebody comes near our energy sphere, we do this. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck away from me. That's once you're pretty much, what is it called? Yes. Once you have moved into the Enlightenment Soul Age group. Before I did that, I would light candles. White candles, energy, clear, 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 clear. And as I got more empowered with knowledge, which is the sciences, technology, all of that, technology, no, but I do technology. I'm saying my attachment trauma information. I was like, okay. And then I witnessed something in one of my courses. And that's when I recognized, after learning about pseudo-aliveness, what I had witnessed. And so this is also why I was like, El Dorado? Anyone watch El Dorado? Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that one in another episode. In the meantime, again, thank you. We'll be back with more.